about Leanne Morgan. We now are getting confirmation from her returning to the Rick and Bubba show. She says that we're right. We did interview her a long time ago.
Bubba was right again.
And Leanne Morgan is here. We did it. Leanne, we did it. How are you?
Honey, I'm so tickled to be with y'all. I told Speedy, I wish I was in studio with y'all. Okay, I was there years ago. Little Kelly Pickler had just won.
Right.
Whatever she won. And she was sitting out front, and she was worn to a frazzle. She was so tired, and I remember thinking, I wish I could be that tired. I wish somebody cared about me like they do Kelly Pickler. And I went in and had that interview with y'all with Etta Mae and Karen Mills. We were the Southern Fried Chicks, and I felt like I was with Elvis and Justin Timberlake. Oh, I shouldn't say Justin Timberlake. Oh, God love him, bless his heart.
Bless his heart, Leanne.
I felt like y'all were my, rock stars.
Well,
and I was on with y'all. It was a big deal for me.
Well,
thank y'all for having me.
Well, it's a big deal for us to because unlike all of our other people that we've helped launch, they usually forget us. They don't return. We haven't heard from Zach Brown, and I don't know when. He acts like he doesn't even know us.
I still got an axe I need to return.
Right,
to.
Larry the cable guy. Apparently, different number now.
Oh my Lord!
So thank you.
Oh, you don't
for returning. Look,
Leanne, congratulations on your success. We caught your show the last time you were in Birmingham.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm gonna tell you, my wife and I both laughed. We literally were sore the next day.
Yes.
Oh, you angel! I wish I could have seen y'all.
Well, we were shouting
in Birmingham.
Yeah, we were shouting over here.
Angel.
we're Leanne over here. And
there was only about 3,000 in the room, so it was kind of hard.
Well, isn't it interesting? And I know that you know this. You've even talked about this, and you even confirmed that you were here. And of course, our wives fell in love with what you're doing, came in, hey, do you know this person? Hey, yes, she's hilarious. Hey, we got to go see her. So we all went on dates. And I'll tell you this, too, and I know that comedians everywhere love to hear this. We've got some friends that are going through a very difficult time with him being diagnosed with ALS, and we took him and her to your show because I think everybody, when if all else fails, if I could just laugh. And it was wonderful to have them there with us to see your show, and we all just belly laughed. And that's one of those things. You probably hear that all the time when people say, I needed a laugh. I don't want to go super serious with this, but, and comedy's always there. So do you hear those stories, I'm sure, all the time, and, boy, they mean so much, don't they?
They do. They do. And, y'all, I've been doing this for over 25 years, and there were times I couldn't get arrested. Nobody cared. I got to be on y'all's show, and then there was a dip where nobody cared, and I couldn't. I was doing anything I could to get on stage, and I was raising my children, and I kept thinking. I feel like God kept giving me little nuggets that made me keep going, and then I was just about to quit and go to work at Target, or I was going to pop popcorn at NASCAR track because I thought that'd be fun. And I knew I'd raise my. I knew I was going to have a grandbaby, and I wanted to help with my grandbaby, and I was just about to give up, and then this thing took off. And I'm 58 years old, and yes, people say that kind of stuff to me all the time. And at first, I thought, I'm not worthy. What in the world? How do they feel this way about me? But now, I just receive it, and I'm just so thankful if I can help a little bit, because life is hard and kicks you in the teeth, and there's terrible things that happen, and I do think humor and laughter helps, and I do, and that's how I've always coped with everything. So thank you for telling me that. These people are precious to me. Did y'all see people blow kisses to me, women standing up, throwing their purse in the air?
Yes.
Oh, it has been the wildest ride for this to happen to me at this point in my life. But it has been wonderful.
Leanne, I know a lot of people.
And more stuff keeps happening.
I know they probably think you're an overnight sensation, but you have been working at this for a while.
Right.
And but Leanne, I heard a story, and I don't know if it's true or not, and I was going to ask you, your job prior to this Were you selling jewelry door to door? Is that right?
Yes, Chuck Morgan moved me. My husband, Chuck Morgan.
I love Chuck,
moved
by
me.
the way.
Thank you. He is big on a budget. He likes. I tell people he doesn't believe in joy. But okay, Chuck
You know, my wife
Morgan,
thinks budget is a 4-letter word, and I said it's really not.
But he moved me to Bean Station, Tennessee, when we graduated from the University of Tennessee, and he bought a used mobile home business that refurbished old mobile homes, and he resold them. And I wanted to get my hair highlighted and buy my little baby, my first baby, an outfit. And so I started selling jewelry in women's houses like Mary Kay or Tupperware, and that's where I developed a shtick. I mean, I had a living room every night with my demographic, with women, and we talked about breastfeeding and hemorrhoids and all that kind of stuff. And women thought I was funny and started booking me about a year in advance. And the company noticed and asked me to start speaking. Now, I had always, since I was 8 or 9 years old, I told my mama I'm going to Hollywood, and she would say, "Oh, yes, you are. You've got blonde hair on your body, and you can photograph well. That's how Marilyn Monroe made it." And I thought, well, that's got to be. Well, she's right. Lucille is right. I'm going to Hollywood. So I always had that dream of wanting to go into show business, but I was a little girl from a town of 500 people that farming outside of Nashville on the Kentucky-Tennessee border that grows dark fire tobacco. Right. So it took me a long time, but y'all know that I'm in a movie with Reese Witherspoon and Will Ferrell.
Look, yes. What did you think when you walked on that movie set and you're like, well, there's Reese Witherspoon and there's Will Ferrell, and I'm in this movie after all you just said? Yeah. Was that one of those moments where you said, Mama has arrived?
Yes, I thought, what in the world am I doing here? And I was scared to death, but it was a ball. I mean, we had a ball, and they knew I didn't know what I was doing. And Fortune Feimster, a wonderful comedian, a good friend of mine, said, "Get on that piece of tape, Leanne, right there. That's called a mark, and say your line." And I was like, what? I didn't know anything, but they all wanted to see me win. And I tell you, little Reese Witherspoon got me that part.
She did.
I played her big sister, Gwyneth. Yes, I met her before the pandemic at a party that I wasn't even supposed to be at. Right. I was lurking around.
Yeah, we've all been there. Yeah, we've all been there.
And she and I started talking, and I know that she did that for me. And Will Ferrell was darling. Everybody on that set was darling.
Mm. Well, that's
so it turned out great. That comes out next year. Yeah. I can't wait for it to come out.
What is the name of it?
What's it called?
It's called You're Cordially Invited, and it's a wacky wedding movie. And to me, I think it's like Bridesmaids meets Father of the Bride meets Step Brothers.
Got it.
Oh, wow.
That's a loaded show right there.
Yeah. So,
Leanne, let me ask you about this. You've done the comedy club circuit, and you've been to some great comedy clubs. I know you've been to Birmingham before, which is a great room. But when you go in there and you're at a place that's got 3,000 people, 10,000, 17,000 playing arenas, I mean, how surreal is that when you walk out?
Oh my gosh! Every night, like I'm in Grand Rapids now, and I'm doing 2 shows here and then 2 in Detroit. Every show I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what in the world? And I know I say what in the world all the time, and I don't mean to be cheesy, but that's the name of my book that's coming out in September. But honest to goodness, y'all, every day, I go, what in the world? I mean, I just grew up my people saying that, but it is, honest to goodness, and I'm not trying to be, and, I'm humble. I mean it every day. I walk out there and go, how did this, it's just a God thing. I mean, I just think, it is. I feel like through all of this, I just feel him. I just know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it was hard and long and a lot of no's. And, back then, Comedy Central, they didn't want to have anything to do with me. I was a mama with 3 babies with a kitten heel on and a capri with birds on it. They didn't want me. Everybody on Comedy Central was home, marijuana. I just through the years, nobody. I thought, well, I just kept going, and I thought, I would get a lot of no's. I mean, a lot of people going, yeah, we don't want her. But then I'd get these little things like ABC would want to do a sitcom with me. Then it wouldn't make it,
Right.
but I would keep going, and then. And now all this has happened to me after I got to raise my own children. And let me tell you all this. Reese Witherspoon every day on that set would look at me, and she came to my waist, by the way, and I outweighed everybody on that set by 70 pounds. But anyway, she would look up at me and go, you got to raise your own children, Leanne. You got to raise your own children. And I think that's the blessing in all this.
Amen.
I got to have a normal life in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Well,
With several toilets that don't work because
right.
Chuck Morgan says, lift that top off, Leanne, and you can just pull that thing up. Nothing's wrong with those toilets.
I know. That's
Pull
Chuck
the
Morgan.
chain. Pull the chain. Yes.
Tell Chuck Morgan we can spend a little dough now. Mama's fine. Hey, thank you, Leanne. I know you're out of time, but I want to talk about Huntsville.
Oh, darn it.
I know.
Okay,
Well,
let's talk about Huntsville.
Yeah,
Okay.
Huntsville, the 29th. Now, you're going to be in Chattanooga the 28th and the 27th. That's our people, too. But Huntsville, the 29th, 2 shows, Propes Arena. If you want to find out about wherever Leanne's going to be on this outstanding tour, just go to leannemorgan.com. leannemorgan.com. Chattanooga, the 27th, the 28th, and the 29th is Huntsville. And, of course, I know the people in Grand Rapids and Detroit will get to see you before that, but then you get home to your home folks in Tennessee and Alabama. So if you want to find out about those shows, go to leannemorgan.com. And, Leanne, thank you so much for being back on the Rick and Bubba show, and we are so proud of you, and we enjoy what you do.
Come see us if you're in the neighborhood.
I would love to, boys. I would love to, and I hate that. I'm sorry if I dominated this. I could have talked for 4 hours with y'all.
Well, I think everybody wanted to hear from you. Yeah, they wanted to hear from you, not us. They hear us all the time. Leanne Morgan.
And let me tell y'all real quick.
Okay.
I have got a television show. I'm shooting a Netflix sitcom with Chuck Lorre in the fall.
Oh, cool.
She's everywhere.
Y'all pray for me.
We are praying for you. Thank you.
You're going to own it, girl.
Thank you,
What
Leanne Morgan.
about?
Leanne Morgan.
Love y'all.
Leanne Morgan. Bye, Leanne. Thank you.
Oh, bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. More Rick and Bubba coming up next.
Rick and Bubba.